A very good evening and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Primetime News. I'm Selima Shumwefeleni Masipa and I appreciate your company tonight. Leading the bulletin, the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform issued a directive on Monday urging all farmers to promptly submit their claims for various interventions. These submissions should be made at the nearest Agricultural Extension Office in their respective regions. Our lead report, compiled by Ishmael Mukuvonda, will provide us with the detailed information on this important matter.
Executive Director Ndiyaku Pingituamata in a statement listed the range of interventions eligible for submission, which include livestock marketing, subsidies for the transportation of livestock to and from grazing areas, leasing of grazing land, as well as lick and fodder subsidies. The mentioned interventions will be effective from 1 October 2023 until 31 March 2024 and will apply to all 14 regions. Farmers are required to furnish essential documents, including a herd statement, a certified copy of their identity document, a stock brand card, the most recent bank confirmation letter, and the original proof of transaction of confirmation from the traditional authority where applicable. Additionally, a Commissioner of Oath statement confirming drought-stricken status is mandatory, the statement read. However, Ngituamata noted that the provision of these subsidies will continue until grazing conditions improve or the budget allocated for this purpose is exhausted, whichever comes first. Reporting for Primetime News, Ishmael Mukuvonda.
Now, Minister of Urban and Rural Development Erastus Uthoni has affirmed the government's unwavering commitment to addressing Namibia's housing backlog. During the handover of 219 houses in Oshikuku on Monday, Uthoni acknowledged that the path to home ownership might sometimes be longer than expected. Nevertheless, he assured the public that the government is working diligently to resolve this issue. More insights from this report.
The 219 houses were developed through various housing programs. 17 of the houses were constructed under the Build Together program, while 63 were built by the Shack Dwellers Federation of Namibia in collaboration with their community saving schemes. The remaining houses were the result of a public-private partnership between the Oshikuku Town Council and Easy United Holdings. Uthoni said the Town Council recently availed over 30 semi-serviced urban to Shack Dwellers Federation of Namibia and 10 fully serviced urban to Build Together beneficiaries, allocating a budget provision of 800,000 Namibian dollars for the 2023-2024 financial year. Furthermore, the minister stressed that at all levels of government, there is a steadfast commitment to fostering an enabling environment and creating opportunities for all, particularly those residing in informal settlements who currently lack adequate housing. He appealed to the private sector to continue collaborating with government and its agencies, meeting halfway in the collective effort to provide housing solutions.
On to health matters. The medical superintendent of Katutura State Hospital, Dr. Nelaro Amoruru, announced on Monday that the hospital's recently constructed 16-bed kidney dialysis unit is scheduled to commence operations in November. During a meeting with members of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Social Development and Family Affairs, Dr. Amoruru emphasized that each room in the unit has been equipped with essential amenities, including oxygen points, ventilation systems, and Wi-Fi access.
Amagulu explained the unit was initially designed to cater for COVID-19 patients during the pandemic. It currently has 4 dialysis machines and 12 more have been ordered. The infrastructure is in place, the equipment has arrived in the country. It is just installation and testing that have to be done. We are hoping that activity can be done in October so that if everything is done and we are clear, hopefully we will kick off in November. If there are technical challenges, it might be later, Amagulu added. The committee was spearheaded by its chairperson, SWAPO member Godhard Kasuto, Landless People's Movement parliamentarian Henny Sabeb, and Popular Democratic Movement parliamentarian Winnie Mongo, formed part of the familiarization visit to the hospital. Amagulu noted that the 96-bed unit formed part of the COVID-19 isolation unit. Meanwhile, the members of parliament expressed their gratitude to the staff at the Kadutura Hospital for the cleanliness of the maternity ward. Reporting for Primetime News, Diana Kauta.
Now on to a development that's making global headlines. Former US President Donald Trump appeared in court on Monday denouncing what he characterized as a sham civil fraud trial involving himself and two of his sons. The case poses a potential threat to the Republican's business empire as he campaigns to regain the White House. New York Judge Arthur Engoron has previously ruled that Trump, along with his sons Eric and Don Jr., engaged in fraud by inflating the value of the real estate and financial assets belonging to the Trump Organization over several years. New York Attorney General Letitia James is now pursuing $250 million in penalties and seeking the removal of Trump and his sons from the management of the family's business empire. Upon arriving in court, Trump vehemently criticized the case, labeling it a scam and a witch hunt. Take a listen.
It's a disgraceful trial put forward by an attorney general who's corrupt. We have murders going all over the city, all over the state at a record level. It's an epidemic, and they waste their time on this. And we're going to be here for months with a judge that already made up his mind. It's ridiculous. He's a Democrat judge, he's an operative, and it's ridiculous. Other than that, things went very well. Because I want to watch this witch hunt myself. I've been going through a witch hunt for years. This is really now getting dirty between Jack Smith and between all of these DOJ people helping them along. This is a pure witch hunt for purposes of interfering with the elections of the United States of America. It's totally illegal. This judge should be disbarred. He shouldn't be allowed to be a judge. Thank you.
Stay tuned for our upcoming business segment where we will provide you with the latest updates on economic and financial news. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, your premier source for the latest in local and continental business news. In our previous segment, we featured a Primetime News exclusive report on the latest developments in the town of Omaruru. Now, in part 2 of our exclusive series, Primetime News producer Petrus Namadiko, along with journalist Isabel Bento, who recently visited Omaruru, conducted interviews with local youth. These young individuals emphasize that the town's high crime rate can be linked to a lack of youth development activities. One of the voices from the youth is 23-year-old Jose Locke, a caretaker and curator at the Omaruru Museum. He believes that the town holds significant potential in the tourism sector, a lucrative market that affects every aspect of the community. Let's now hear more from Jose Locke as he shares his insights.
Especially when you look at in terms of tourism. It is a very lucrative market, and it touches on every aspect of the town. Say for instance you want to make a tourism or information center, that can also generate some funds, because tourists would like to know what is going on and what type of plants and species we have here. We could also have local guides that shows the tourists or the past buyers the scenic sites of Omaruru, and we also have wonderful sunsets. And these sunsets can be used and packaged, whereby the tourists can have a sundowner and maybe a river drive through the river, because we also have a vast river that is always dry. I don't know why. Necessarily, it's just a matter of making a package. If the group of the youth in Omaruru come together and see what they can exhibit, what they can put forth towards the visitors, and what can intrigue others, then they can make a package and sell it. And this can not only help the locals, but it also helps the image and the development of the town, thus helping the municipal and the council have better scope on what we can actually achieve in Omaruru. But you know, there's always a struggle of finance, and if there is no financial assistance, then one gets how you call it in Afrikaans, they say wapeloos. Yeah, they don't see the interest in it no more, because they don't gain something out of it. But if we have figures such as motivational figures and people that or that can convince these people that what they are doing is actually benefiting the town and how it can further benefit the whole society, then they would probably see. But we need outspoken people that can help these people realize their actual talent. Because if they don't realize it, then what are they going to input in Omaruru? So we need vigilant minds, that is for starters, and we need programs such as workshops and just training schemes to make these youth of Omaruru more literate and distract them from whatever is distracting them, like for instance the alcohol and drug abuse. So I advise council or any stakeholder, investor that wants to come to Omaruru to think of a recreational space, think of a recreational idea, so that we can harness or lure this youth into what we want them to be actually. So it's a matter of creating a space and then amplifying these talents that the youth have, because we have a lot of talent, it's just there is no platform. There is no conducive environment where these people can do whatever they want to do or express their artistic dreams.
Now let's shift our focus to tomorrow's weather report, where we'll bring you a comprehensive forecast covering the entire nation. Welcome to Sport Planet, your premier source for all things sports. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag says Antony could return in the Champions League tie at home to Galatasaray later tonight amid ongoing police inquiries into allegations of abuse against the Brazil international. The 23-year-old winger, who strongly denies the accusations, was given a leave of absence by United on September 10. He returned to England last week and attended a voluntary interview with Greater Manchester Police on Thursday. He trained last weekend and could now play against Turkish champions Galatasaray at Old Trafford a month on from his last appearance at Arsenal. United head into tonight's match desperately needing a win following a 4-3 defeat by Bayern Munich in their Champions League opener and Saturday's 1-0 loss to Crystal Palace. Meanwhile, Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti is not a man to hold a grudge, as reflected by his return to the Spanish capital, despite being harshly sacked by Los Blancos chief Florentino Perez in 2015. However, the 64-year-old veteran would doubtless enjoy proving a point when his Madrid side visit Napoli in the Champions League later tonight at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. The visit to Napoli will be another acid test for both Ancelotti's plan and Madrid's squad depth, with striker Victor Osimhen in excellent form despite his recent anger over the club insulting him on social media network TikTok. Los Blancos are without injured defender David Alaba, leaving only Antonio Rudiger and Nacho Fernandez available in central defense. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. That concludes our broadcast for tonight, and we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your viewership. Before we bid you farewell, we kindly invite you to join the larger Nampa TV community by following the on-screen instructions to subscribe to our channel. Additionally, please take a moment to like and share our content and actively participate in the comments section. Your engagement plays a pivotal role in enhancing our productions. On behalf of myself, Salima Shumwefeleni Masipa, and our dedicated production team diligently working behind the scenes, we wish you all a peaceful and restful night. Good night.